Little Dallas Mavericks news here on a Thursday. Harrison Graham and Jeffrey Cooperstein with you. Coop, I got to be honest and hand up accountability. This is on me. I forgot Alex Fudge was still in the mix
Me
in
too.
the Mavericks organization on a two-way deal, and he no longer is. So he has been cut from his two-way contract, leaving the Mavericks with two players on two ways, Brandon Williams and Kessler Edwards. Of course, that means one spot is open. If you want, we can kind of speculate on what could happen next. But adios, Mr. Fudge.
Yeah, Alex Fudge was never a good player. I watched him play at Florida. He stunk, quite frankly. He played in like 6 games with the Lakers last year. They released him. Then the Mavs picked him up around January, and he was on a two-way with the Mavs for the rest of the season. Played in the Vegas Summer League with the Mavs, did absolutely nothing, and the Mavs ended up cutting him. I kind of wanted to explore what it means cutting Fudge and where the Mavs can kind of go from here. You still have a 15-man roster, and that's full right now with AJ Lawson on it, but you could cut AJ Lawson, and that opens up a roster spot for someone else, Markieff Morris, maybe some other people.
And also, Lawson could potentially fill that last two-way spot.
He could.
That could be a possibility. Now, maybe he would explore other options. Who knows? But maybe this is some kind of domino effect with Fudge exiting and some kind of maneuver with Lawson coming up. It's been reported that Markieff Morris is expected to re-sign with the Mavericks. Is that going to get set in motion now by cutting Lawson, hoping to bring him back on a two-way, then Morris filling the 15th roster spot? We'll see. It doesn't seem like the Mavs are necessarily in a rush to do any of this. And they really don't need to because – if something happens and Markieff Morris changes his mind, signs elsewhere, or retires, I don't think it's making or breaking the 24-25 season, but it seems like they'd like to have him back. But I think there are some other intriguing names out there if they do want to explore someone that could actually potentially help you on the floor as well. So we'll go through some of those players here in just a moment. But what do you guys think? Would you rather bring back AJ Lawson and Markieff Morris, or do something else? If you do want to bring back Lawson and Morris, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Coop, I'll be honest, I'm kind of intrigued by some of these players that are still available in free agency.
Yeah, I took a look at the free agent list, and there are some guys out there that I think could, one, help the Mavs, and two, that they have familiarity with, We'll get to those in just a moment, but before we do that, I would like to tell you about our sponsor at Game Time.
Yeah, shout out to Game Time, the best place to go to get your tickets for sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, and other events that require you to purchase tickets online. Game Time's going to hook you up. Download the app today, create an account, and for your first purchase only, use code CHATSPORTS to get $20 off. Terms apply there. Disappointing end for the Rangers in that Astros series, but still in the mix in the AL West. If you want to get out to the ballpark, go check them out. Cowboys season obviously around the corner if you want to get out to Jerry World. And listen, if you're in the greater DFW area, there's concerts going on all the time, comedy shows, plenty of things that you need to get tickets for. And what Game Time specializes in is those last-minute ticket opportunities, the day of the event. I've bought tickets to events an hour before it starts, gotten the tickets and gotten into the arena in plenty of time. That is where they're going to hook you up. Check them out today. Download Game Time, create the account, use code CHATSPORTS, and get out of your house right now. Okay, some Mavericks free agent targets. You mentioned familiarity. Well, it's been a while, but Dallas obviously knows Jay Crowder well. His level of play, Coop, has certainly dipped in recent seasons. But, he's experienced. I think he would bring value to the locker room. And while I don't think he'd be a regular rotation player, I think over the course of 82 games, he could certainly help you. And I think there's value in that.
It's been almost 10 years since the Mavs traded Jay Crowder to the Boston Celtics. It is pretty wild. I do think he can still help the Mavs, though, as a 15th guy. Brings the veteran experience. He's an okay shooter, can still defend a little bit. He can certainly play more than Markieff Morris if they actually wanted a guy that you need to play, in spot duty and whatnot. So I'd be interested in a guy like Jay Crowder. I'd also be interested in a guy like Doug McDermott because he will be able to shoot until he's 50 years old.
Yeah, I think a consistent theme with all these guys is that they would give you more on the court than Markieff Morris, even if they wouldn't be regular rotation players. Crowder more so defensively, McDermott offensively. He's a floor spacer. He can shoot the ball. Again, I think he'd be on the outside looking in rotation-wise. But on nights where he had to play, he knows how to play. He can shoot. He can score. Knows how to get to his spot. So certainly wouldn't mind that whatsoever. Obviously, Reggie Bullock spent some time here. Was a key piece for that Western Conference Finals team a couple of years ago. Now, he's been pretty terrible since then.
He was horrible when he went to Houston.
That year after with Dallas, he was still okay, but not as good as the year before, and he was awful with the Rockets. I don't know how much is left in the tank there, but some 3-and-D ability. I kind of put him in the Jay Crowder category.
Agreed.
Of he could help you in the regular season. If you're having to play him in the playoffs, that probably means you've suffered multiple injuries.
The Mavs got Reggie Bullock's best out of him when they signed him to that 3-year, $30 million deal for sure. And then he was used in, I don't even remember which trade he was used in. Was that the Christian Wood deal? No.
Yes.
I think they may have just bought him out. But either way, they got the best year out of Reggie Bullock that they could have, and they moved on. As a 15th guy, I'd be fine with it. He has familiarity with Luka. I think he also knows Kyrie as well, so there's that. Jason Kidd, you seemed to like him when he was here. That would be just more of a culture fit, I think, than a guy who could actually play.
Bring one back. Former Mav, who would you rather bring back to Dallas? Type JC for Jay Crowder, DM for Doug McDermott, or RB for Reggie Bullock. I think out of all these guys, I'd probably lean Crowder because I think he could give you some critical defense in small patches. But, again, I wouldn't expect any of these guys to be, big needle movers.
We're going to talk about another former Mav in just a moment, but before we do that, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. If the Mavs make any move, whether it's signing Markieff Morris or cutting anyone, we'll have it covered. So please be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know the second we publish a video. If anything happens in Mavs land, myself and Harrison will have you covered.
Guys, we're breaking down Alex Fudge getting
Who else is doing that?
Come on, hit that sub button. All right, Rocco, Robert Covington, who his career has kind of just fallen off dramatically, I feel like. I feel like
it was a rapid descent.
There was a 4 or 5 year stretch, Coop, where he was like the popular name at the trade deadline every year. Like, go get Robert Covington. He could be the missing piece. I don't think he's the missing piece anymore, but I think like a lot of these guys, he can help you in a regular season. If there's an injury and he needs to play more, he can do that. He gives you some positional flexibility. So, again, as a 15th guy, he's certainly going to give you more on-court value than a guy like Markieff Morris.
And then this one's just for fun. Why not bring him back?
Listen, if you're willing to use a roster spot on Keefe as purely a vibes leader type of guy, maybe Boban's not the
leader
hard-nosed leader guy, but
he's a vibes
great
guy.
Culture fit. Luka would love to have him back around, you would imagine. Everybody loves him, and listen, it's he's a fun guy. So if you're willing to use a roster spot on a guy who can't play, I'm fine with Boban.
Me too.
Like, if he's your backup plan, if Keefe doesn't work out or whatever, or if you just decide, or maybe Luka makes the case to bring back Boban, he wants to play another year, then, hey, I certainly wouldn't have a problem with that.
Get the 51s down in the comments. Bring back Bobby. But in all seriousness, name someone the Mavs should sign. If it's someone that we didn't mention, go ahead and tell us why you think they should sign them. There's still plenty of other names out there on the market.
Lonnie Walker's still out there.
Lonnie Walker, Markelle Fultz is still out there if you want to go a guard route.
Smith.
Dennis Smith as well. I mean, there are plenty of options out there. So let us know who you guys think the Mavs should sign. And if they do, of course, we'll have it covered.
See you guys next time. Peace.